Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So, maybe you've noticed, maybe you didn't. If you're a lucky person and you don't go often online, but I am online all the time, there's been a huge influx in anti-Islam. I wouldn't say Islamophobic because I don't like that word, because I don't want to be positioned as a victim, as a Muslim, but huge anti-Muslim sentiment going out. Whether on Twitter, X, it's insane, like everybody's just bashing Muslims. YouTube videos, YouTubers, from Patrick Bet-David to Murtads and ex-Muslims getting together with Christians, to Tommy Robinson actually doing a rally in the UK against Islam pretty much, even though it's immigration, but in reality he doesn't mind other immigrants, just Muslims. And it's all connected, we know who's behind kind of all of this without saying. But anyways, so these are artificial sort of projections in hyper-reality, which, before I explain, hyper-reality is not real. It's not real, it's a perception of, the world from an online perspective, but reality may be very different. And so this hyper-reality is very dangerous, because it has an impact on you as a Muslim. And I just want to talk about how do you handle this, because it is pretty difficult, right? You are attacked pretty much everywhere, and even from regular state officials in Austria. Basically they're banning hijabs now in schools, and this can happen even in Muslim countries, of course. But it seems like everything is kind of, from the death of Charlie Kirk, everything has been rolled out. Not sure if on purpose, but it damn looks like that everything has been pushed by Elon Musk, by the media, by whatever. And it has nothing to do with, Muslims had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk or nothing like that. But it's like a trigger for all of this. It trickles down to the top, to the war, and it trickles down to society. People now have negative feelings about Muslims because it's everywhere, and people don't check, so they will be affected by it. So these are the dangers. And so how do you go about this? Well, we should find solace that Prophet ﷺ said that this deen started strange, it will return to being something strange, so glad tidings to strangers. That's one thing, right? Secondly, this is nothing new. The Prophet ﷺ was persecuted in Mecca. This deen from the beginning had enemies, from the first beginning. So this is the nature of Islam. It will always have these antagonists and people who want to go after it in the name of God, some of them, but they just are completely irrelevant. Christians claiming Christianity is coming back is completely ridiculous. If you look at the data, or if you look at the real state of Christianity, in reality, not in hyper-reality, it's going down. It's going down. Slovakia lost 300,000 Christians in the past 10 years. Not to Islam, but to atheism. So the real challenge is, going to be modernity, atheism, secularism. Christianity is not even, it's not even relevant at all. First of all, it doesn't have any laws that can govern society. Second of all, for your own personal belief, it can kind of be okay, but you don't have an effect on society besides abortions and stuff like that. But Islam is fully complete religion. So anyways, so the Christian attacks, typical stuff, nothing new. But the real stuff is all of them going together. That's crazy. The Quran tells us that the Christians and the Jews will never like you if you don't follow their ways. Paraphrasing, of course. So this is always the nature and it looks like the entire world has decided that Islam is the biggest problem in the world. Not military wars that Islam has nothing to do with, not the economy that Islam didn't do anything about, not that birth rates are plummeting, not that liberalism is an issue or conservatism or whatever, or why people don't go to church. It's Islam's fault. This should tell you you're on the haq, you're on the truth. This is so ridiculous. It's actually, you laugh at this. It's laughable. because Islam has nothing to do with any of this. Islam is a minority in Europe. It has no effect on laws. It has no effect on anyone, except like sometimes you find like a Muslim guy, and then there's a halal butchery. But there's no. This doesn't affect anyone. This has no effect. Islamization. Anyways, this is ridiculous, right? So there's nothing we can do about this. It's just a passage of time, and surely there's going to be a new wave of then people coming to Islam. Like a few years back, people reverted, like Tate and Sneeko, whatever, and it was kind of popular to become a Muslim. Now it's anti-popular. Now it's gonna again be a popular. So it's like Islam goes up and down, goes up and down. But the point is, all these enemies of Islam, really enemies of Islam, have come together, and they have completely different worldviews. Like the Jews, the Christians, or Zionists, or whoever. These are non-compatible groups. They have nothing in common except hating Islam. So they are bound by hate. This is not good because they have no vision for their own country. What vision can Christianity bring to the UK? Tell me. It's already there. There are thousands of churches that are Starbucks. I was there, I go there. So this nothing. Christianity has been lost. What vision can modernity bring to the UK or whatever? It's there already. So this is being taught in schools. Like, Islam has nothing to do with any of this. Islam is being surveilled. Muslims are being surveilled by the state usually. Muslims are being harassed. Muslims are being very cautious what they can say and what they can't say. It's not easy to be a Muslim in the West. I don't live in the West. I live in the East, man. This is the real deal. We have no regulations here because there's no Muslims. But anyways, these things, Muslims have no influence. Sorry. Muslims have no real influence on anything so far, except like there's a mayor in New York who's a Muslim, but you know, whatever. He's like a Muslim who is also like a leftist, whatever. Like this type of people exist, but that's about it. Muslims have no power in their own countries. Islam has no effect in Muslim countries. Islam has been wiped out from Muslim countries. Islam has been attacked. It's been systematically secularized in a lot of Muslim countries. So not to mention the West, like the West, look at like Egypt or look at all these countries. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, right? So people shouldn't be scared of Islam in politics because there is no Islam in politics anywhere except a few examples. But the reality is we're very far away from anything like that. The reality is Muslims in large part just want to have a peaceful life, raise their families in a Muslim environment which is conducive to their faith, and then, you know, teach their kids the Quran, have a modest life, avoid haram, and live a clean life. So the spiritual purification is the most important to Muslims nowadays. We have no other ambitions to just survive this dunya because we know it's the end. This is the end. It's coming to the end. It's coming to the end soon. SubhanAllah, this world has been through many stages, and you know, we just want to survive. That's all. But anyways, it's so interesting. So you as a Muslim, that's my advice. This is nothing new. The Prophet told us about this, so we're on the right track. And actually, just stay doing whatever you're doing. Don't care about this because we have a long view. You know, we're looking at thousands of years ahead. We have a view of generationals. Like, I'm looking at my son and how he's gonna have children and stuff like that. These people have no long-term views. They have no mission. They have no vision. There's nothing. So this is just like a nothing, because Islam has been attacked from the beginning through the empires and stuff, and it's still there. Islam still stands strong today, even though we have no influence on the politics. But Islam is in the heart of people still, in billions of people, and that's all we got. So anyways, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh from Slovakia. See you later.